Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. Guys, today we got a long show to jump into. We've got an hour, and we are going to be discussing none other than your target market of Bitcoin. If you are not familiar, Bitcoin has been rallying over the last 24 hours and is currently trading at $20,762. It has undergone a major rally over the last 12 hours, which is very interesting considering we just saw a 75 basis point rate hike back on Wednesday. When that rate hike came out, a lot of people, including myself, were thinking, well, the Dixie, the dollar currency index, is starting to get a lot stronger, and we're more than likely going to see a jump in the Dixie and a fall in Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin did fall and test new lows, but then it formed a double bottom, and in today's stream, we're going to look at that double bottom and see if that is going to actually be able to hold and whether or not the bottom is in for Bitcoin. We're going to do some pretty deep technical analysis on Bitcoin today. We're going to bring you guys in. I'd love for any of you guys in chat that are technical analysts, which most of you are, to tell me, what are you seeing on the Bitcoin chart? Help me. Give me some ideas, because I'm not going to see absolutely everything. Let me know what you're seeing on the chart, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm seeing on the chart, and we can collaborate and look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at Lux Algo, a bunch of different technical indicators today that you guys absolutely love, and we're also going to look at a few choice altcoins that you guys will go ahead and tell me that you would like to see a little bit later on in the stream. If you'd like to see a certain altcoin, go ahead and tell me in chat right now. And then I'll ask a little bit later, and we'll probably check out one or two altcoins as well. And we're also going to be taking a look at a story having to do with Coinbase and the fact that they are partnering with Google. You probably already know this because Google announced that. Google and Coinbase announced that deal a little while ago with basically Web3 integration going on with Google. Google is going to be using Coinbase for custody, and Coinbase is going to be using Google for their web services, and it's a pretty big deal. And we're going to talk about what it actually means, what it doesn't mean, because there are some people that are blowing it a little bit out of proportion. Break down that story for you, and just keep you guys up to date on what's going on in the markets. Guys, we got a great show lined up for you today. Really, really excited that we get to do this all 5 days of the week. Really appreciate all of you tuning in, but we have some chat to read. We got Mike Lowry in chat, was the first, said morning, don't touch, said yo, yo, yo. As second, Mike Lowry then said hashtag FinSolve. Hashtag FinSolve, guys. If you guys don't know what FinSolve is, very simply, it's this. You are in control of your finances rather than your finances being in control of you. Most people live in a life that is subservient to their finances, or the way that they generate their finances, or the institutions and organizations and currencies that run their finances. Instead of living under that subservience and that servitude to your finances and to the different financial institutions that you work with, I want to help you become financially sovereign in such a way where your finances are working for you rather than you working for your finances, where your finances are a servant of you rather than you being a servant of your finances, or a dead-end job that you don't like, or having to work 90 hours a week to provide for your family. None of that's healthy, and we want to make sure that you guys are in a place where you are able to take care of you and yours in a way that is sovereign and financially secure. So, hashtag FinSolve to everybody who is in chat. We also got Crypto JMP here, said I'm here. When People said good morning all. Shout out to When Peoples. Adam Rourke in chat this morning said good morning to everybody. Mike Lowry said, Adam Rourke, what's up? Happy hashtag FinSolve Friday. Should we make that a thing? FinSolve Friday? Tell me in chat if we should make that a thing. Crypto Mini Bike also in chat said, good morning, everyone. Justin Eubank said, good morning at Coffee and Crypto Gang. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, my friend. Mike Lowry said to @Puddle, What did Puddle say? Lowry is sniping the morning chats. That's true. And Mike Lowry said, Pirate Adventures, good morning, brother. Shout out to all the pirates out there. No, actually, the joke, that was a joke. I just remembered, pirates are not actually good people. They're not. Like, they're glorified in pop culture, but they're really not. So shout out to Mike Lowry, I guess I should say. Anywho, we also got Veronica Gainey in chat, Justin Eubanks in chat, Crypto Mini Bike again. Grand Roofing Incorporated is here. Let's see. All hail the all-knowing Jebb is on the way. I'm definitely not all-knowing. Puddle Pirate Adventures. There you go. Mountain Climber said, hi, Jebb, and good morning. Hello, Gia S in chat. Justin Eubanks again. We got, let's see, Grand Roofing. I'm a roofing analyst. Does that qualify? Yes, that will qualify. That'll work. Guys, by the way, make sure to smash that like button. We're going to jump in and do some market recap, market watch here in just a few minutes. Mike Lowry in chat. Mike Lowry again. Gia S. I think I got everybody. Looks like we got everybody. DJ Rolling Rick said, thumbs up, hashtag FinSoft Fridays. Love it, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Grand Roofing said, I was actually doing my best to be first, but I was actually talking to a guy at the gas station about Bitcoin. Almost missed the start of the show. Hey, look, guys, we got to go out there and evangelize Bitcoin. There's a lot of things we got to evangelize, but we got to evangelize our Lord, and we got to evangelize Bitcoin. In that order. Good deal, guys. Well, let's go ahead and jump onto CoinMarketCap. Take a look at what's been going on, because it's not just Bitcoin that is doing exceptionally well. It is also the rest of the markets as a whole. They are all doing very well. Bitcoin being up 3.11% over the last 24 hours. We've got ETH up 5.5% over the last 24 hours. We got Binance up 8.59% over the last 24 hours. We got XRP up almost 10% in the last day. Dono sitting up 6.27%. You guys know I love me some Cardano. Definitely a good territory to scoop up some Cardano for a 3 to 5 year hold. Absolutely juicy price sitting there at 41 cents. Solana sitting at $33. I wouldn't buy it for a penny personally, but if you like Solana, then you're probably doing pretty well. Polygon doing incredibly. This is one that Kevin O'Leary talked about on our interview that will be coming out on the 11th. He likes Polygon, and Polygon's been doing very well. We got Polkadot up 7%, Sheeb up 5%, Tron up 1%. Where is Dogecoin? Dogecoin down 3.77%. Man, that feels bad. But Dogecoin obviously had a huge run, so being down 3% isn't that big a deal when it more than doubled. And by the way, something to keep in mind here is that Bitcoin is dealing with a very important level of resistance right now. And with this recent move, we've actually kind of broken back up above it and gotten away from it. And that would be $1 trillion market capitalization. We're currently sitting at $1,037,664,796,860.45 of market cap, approximately, according to CoinMarketCap. Of course, that's never going to be the exact number, but it's probably accurate within $1 billion. That's how big crypto is nowadays, is that our margin for error is couple $1 billion. Whether it's if it's $1,037 billion or $1,035 billion or $1,039 billion, who gives? It's just a little bit. It's less than 1% of total market capitalization, and we're in the middle of a bear market. Just keep your perspective. Just remember, for anybody who wants to freak out on the dip, we have $1 trillion market we're dealing with here, like with a T. Like, that's like 4 Elon Musks worth of crypto. That's incredible, and we should not forget that. And especially don't forget that the all-time high on crypto was nearly $3 trillion, and we're still sitting at $1 trillion on the all-time high on this bear market. But anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about here is that this chart, which is total market capitalization, actually is very important technically, because that level of $1 trillion and multiple other levels like 900 billion, like the 100 billion marks, those are actually pretty important technical levels for the entire market. And you can see here that we broke through $1 trillion market cap for the first time ever since we dropped below it back here in September. So we've been below it for 2 months. And then recently we jumped back up above it. And in fact, let me just go ahead and pull this up, because you can actually pull up this chart. I believe, I haven't done it in a while, but it's total 1, I think is what it is. It should be total 1. Is it total 1 or total 2? Total 1 market capitalization? Total crypto. Let me type it all in. I think it's total 1 is the ticker. Here we go. This is it. It's calculated by TradingView. Yeah, so it's total. Oh, it's just total. Okay, you got total 2, and then total 3. So total, and then total 2 is excluding Bitcoin. Total 3 is excluding Bitcoin and ETH. And then total DeFi is the total DeFi market capitalization. And then total market capital is DeFi dominance. A lot of other things in here. Crypto total market capitalization, other. A lot of things that TradingView has put together here. These are TradingView created indices. But you can see right here, we have some history of the, and you can see I've actually done quite a bit of charting on this over the years. There's quite a bit of history of market capitalization data. And one of the things to look at here on market capitalization data is that we're currently sitting right here on this long-term uptrending level of support that was set with this all-time low, not all-time low, excuse me, that doesn't really exist until you go down to 0 cents. This local low down here in August of 2015, which was the bottom of a bear market. And then we also saw that we corresponded to another local bottom that was set down here at $100 billion in March of 2020. So let's just pause there for a second. Just keep in mind that March of 2020 is only 2.5 years ago, and the bottom for Bitcoin was $100 billion. Right now, the bottom for Bitcoin is $750 million. So the bottom for Bitcoin, the absolute low that Bitcoin is able to play with, you're telling me we're bearish on the long term, and the absolute low that Bitcoin can deal with is 600% rallies in 2 years, because this happened in March of 2020 and then basically June of 2022. So we're talking, you know, the age of my son, which is just over 2 years worth of time period here. The absolute bottom for Bitcoin has gone up 650%, and we're worried. Why? I don't get it. But nevertheless, the thing I want to point out here is that this lines up almost perfectly. Look at how close this line gets to this bottom. In fact, if I were to take this bottom and I was to draw it, you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second if you don't already know what I'm getting at here. If I was to take this bottom here and line it up just almost perfectly here on the 3 daily chart so that it actually does touch. Let's just go ahead and make it touch right there. And then we make sure that it touches almost perfectly right down here. Boom, there we go. And then we look back here in 2015 and we make sure this lines up on this wick. So there's the wick for the first bottom on the uptrend on total market capitalization. Then we have another wick right here. Fits perfectly. I mean, we're talking, there is no margin for error at all here. It's literally perfect. You don't get better charting than this. Look at these lines. Do you see this? This is incredibly important. And so this line is about the most accurate, most well-representative uptrend I have ever seen in my entire career of technical analysis when you're looking at a trend line this long. This, I just want you guys to know, like, this doesn't happen. Like, that does not happen on charts where you get a trend line over the course of over half a decade. I mean, we're talking, what, 7 years here of trend line, and the touches are within like $1 of the trend line matching on the log chart. It's very, 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 very unlikely to happen. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, it's a very powerful trend because it's very accurate. But what does it mean? Because if we don't have an interpretation, it doesn't really matter all that much. Ultimately, what I want you to know here is that if we do extrapolate, and this doesn't have to be a perfect extrapolation, but if we're roughly accurate and we extrapolate out here, this puts total market capitalization of crypto in 2026 at $20 trillion. That sounds ludicrous, but I could actually see that, especially if you talk to people like Cathie Wood, who believe that $1 million Bitcoin is almost certain by the end of the decade. Then you're looking at potentially a $20 trillion market capitalization by then. But even if that doesn't occur, just take a look at this line and the way that this is going up. This actually, guys, makes a lot of sense for the trajectory that Bitcoin could go on if it were done with a bear market. I mean, look at the trajectory that we went on when we were done with this bear market. Look at the trajectory that we did when we were done with this bear market. We just move these forward and extrapolate this. It honestly works. It honestly works as a baseline that we could maintain for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. If you understand the way this trend line works, you understand that's on the log chart, and so eventually it's going to be completely impossible to maintain it unless the inflation of the U.S. dollar gets so out of hand that the U.S. dollar is losing so much value that keeping up with a logarithmic graph like this is possible. But in general, you're probably not going to see that happen. But the point is not that. The point is that this trend line could actually give us a lot of information about where Bitcoin is going over the next several months. I mean, this trend line, just to give you perspective, only puts us at $1.15 trillion by March of 2023. Of course, Bitcoin can rally that fast, especially if we start to see the market tapering off. So that's just something I wanted to show you guys to start with here, is how powerful it is to look at not just Bitcoin, but other charts as well. And in fact, seeing that trend line, I'm going to go ahead and put total market capitalization over here on my watch list right here, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. The point is that Bitcoin is trading right around $1 trillion right now. According to this, it's trading at 999 billion, but according to CoinMarketCap, it's just above that. So this is what I'm talking about. There's a discrepancy of $40 billion depending on who you ask, but that's just kind of how it is. You know, you don't always have the exact same number coming out. But the point is, if we're able to see Bitcoin get any kind of traction, I could definitely see Bitcoin following this trend line because it looks extreme on the 3 daily chart when you look at the grand scheme of things. But if you look at the chart down here and you realize, okay, well, this chart isn't actually that crazy because it's only pointing to $1.4 trillion by middle of next year. $1.4 trillion versus where we are now. I mean, that would basically put Bitcoin at, by the end of, by not end of next year, by middle of next year at like $30,000. I think it's very likely that Bitcoin maintains that uptrending level of support. So just something to chew on, something for you to take into consideration. And something else to take into consideration is that there's a downtrend right here on total market capitalization that Bitcoin is currently running up to bump its head against. Or crypto, not Bitcoin. This is all of crypto. Remember that all of crypto is running up to bump its head against. This is the chart of the industry. Basically, this is the chart of the industry and how it is moving. The industry is growing this much. I keep saying Bitcoin, but this is actually all of the crypto market caps. So I could see Bitcoin rallying up here, testing this as a breakout point, and then if it breaks it, you could see Bitcoin and crypto potentially rally up to 1.15 trillion, and then you could end up seeing Bitcoin following through on that, jump up to $22,500, and then break and try and go up to 23, 24. I think you're going to see a lot of fundamental data coming in relatively soon. That's going to give a lot of interest. That's going to give a lot of interest into. There's going to be a lot of data that comes in relatively soon that gives us a lot of perspective on not only where Bitcoin is, why Bitcoin has moved in the way that it has, but also where Bitcoin is going to move in the not too distant future. Because if we do see that November 10th CPI data come in, then we're going to see more than likely, if that's below 8%, you probably will see a jump on Bitcoin. You probably will see a jump on the stock market. Bitcoin and the crypto and the stock market is heavily correlated, so that would more than likely happen. And also the other thing to keep in mind, guys, is that the Dixie has been dropping substantially. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's off to the races. It's doing great. But if you just bear in mind that the CBI is jumping off a cliff right now, then you have a bit of understanding as to why Bitcoin is rallying so much. Bitcoin's here. Dixie's here. Let me just plot them against each other. Remember, guys, these two are extremely heavily inversely correlated. The moment that Dixie started dropping, let's just draw a vertical line to make it more obvious. The moment that Dixie started dropping, Bitcoin started rallying. This is just one of the strongest correlations that I've seen in markets, is the correlation between Bitcoin and the Dixie. And so just bear in mind that right now, Bitcoin is performing very well when it is performing very well because the Dixie's having trouble. Over here, Dixie was having trouble, Bitcoin rallied. Over here, Dixie was doing well, Bitcoin was stagnating. Over here, Dixie dropped a lot, Bitcoin rallied a lot. But the important thing is that Bitcoin's rallying a lot when Dixie's going down a lot. But when the Dixie's going up a lot, Bitcoin was trading sideways. So just bear that in mind. That is a very interesting point that could be very easy to look over, is that we are following the Dixie to the upside a lot more than we're following the Dixie to the downside. And that does indicate that the bulls might be stronger than perhaps we've given them credit for. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that Bitcoin's currently rallying up to $21,000. Just in the last several minutes, Bitcoin has taken off like a rocket ship heading for the moon, taking a pit stop at the moon to go to Mars, and it's up 1% in 5 minutes. So Bitcoin has rallied $200 in 5 minutes. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. Bitcoin looks like it's actually starting to get a lot of steam. And I'm not here to tell you that this is the end of the bear market or anything, because we still need to see more confirmation. But remember, guys, when we broke out here and Lux Algo gave us a bullish signal, I said, look, guys, we need to see some confirmation. We need to see Bitcoin stay up here for a little while. Well, guess what? It did that. And that's extremely exciting for me. We did actually get to see Bitcoin stay up in this zone. And Lux Algo called this movement. You can see the strong buy signal right there. Boom, took off like a rocket ship. If you guys do not use Lux Algo, you are missing out. Use the link in the description box down below. Use Coffee and Crypto. Use Jebb, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout on Lux Algo, because it gives you incredible signals. But even over here, look at these signals. Look at this signal that Lux Algo gave you. Boom, a buy signal. Before, like, we had not taken off. Like, this was way before the market had taken off. We saw a green trend catcher right here, which it looks like that happened on this candlestick rather than on this one. Looks like it was starting to take place on this candlestick. Well, actually, it would have been this candlestick that would have turned that trend catcher green. So you had the confirmation, and then the market blasted through the Neo cloud right here and is doing exceptionally well. What I'd be looking at now would be, how is Bitcoin going to behave inside this reversal zone? Is Bitcoin going to be able to just continue just blasting straight through this reversal zone and stay up here above these take profits? Or is it going to kind of fall out of the reversal zone and trade sideways up here? Because that could indicate there'd be another back test to test maybe, 20,700. So check that out. Tell me what you guys think on that. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and taking a look at the chart with me, because I think there's a lot of opportunity on Bitcoin right now for everybody who is in Bitcoin. And I think there's also a high likelihood that Bitcoin could try and break this flat level of resistance today. It's pushing up here, hitting its head on it. Total market capitalization as charted over here on TradingView, just past $1 trillion. Over on CoinMarketCap, it's sitting at $1.40 trillion. So just make sure you're paying very close attention today, guys, because we could see a big explosive movement coming in today. And if we do that, despite the fact that we saw 75 basis points, well, just think about what could happen when we do see 50 basis points come in, whether at the next meeting on December 14th or the meeting after that on February the 2nd, I think it is. Just think what could happen if we do see, when we do, because it's not an if, it's a when we do see 50 basis point rate hikes. That is going to be a very telling moment. So I'd love to hear your opinions on all of that in the comment section. We're going to go ahead and read some chat here. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Let's read some chat. We have a bunch of people in chat. Let's see. Got a mellow fellow in chat. Crypto Alchemist is in chat. Jebb, you should tour a Bitcoin miner. That'd be cool. What up, Jebb? What's up, Richard Harrington? Just reading chat over here. We got Christian in chat. What's up, man? Good to see you in chat, man. We got Mitch Shaw, Gia S., the classic IT guy. Crypto Sec guy in chat giving Christian a hard time. I'm pretty sure he's being sarcastic. Hey, Jebb, do you still believe there will be a substantial leg down to sub 20K? That's the prevailing hypothesis, but that hypothesis is being very heavily challenged right now. If Bitcoin, I'd be willing to start giving that idea up after Bitcoin is able to stay above $22,500 for 7 to 14 days. Until then, yeah, I would have to, begrudgingly, I would have to lean in that direction just because I need to see more confirmation than what we've seen so far before I can really jump into full swing bull market territory, because we're just not there fundamentally. Brad Geidel in chat. Christian said, hit that like button. Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. Let's see. Preach, Pastor Jebb, Queen said. Oh, man. Dude, chill. Market cap won't rise like that forever. You're right, it won't. But I could see it rising like that for the next couple of years. Absolutely. Colin McDonald said, love your passion, Jebb. Thank you. Christian said, I forgot to mention the other day, consider adding a fill light. The right side of your face is too dark. I know. I did that for the mood. I did that for the aesthetic. I did that to make it look cinematic. Oh, there's hugs in chat. Oh, that's cute. That's sweet. Hugs. Boom. Gia S said, if we're giving hugs, can I have one too? Hugs all around, guys. That's how we like it. Jebb, check out the CBBI. Will do. Will do. Pretty sure you can invert the Dixie and see the correlation more clearly. That's a good idea, actually. I will do that. Mike Lowry did a member chat. Said, go Phillies. Phillies finest. I got on my jersey, Queen said. Crypto Mini Bike said, hit the likes, people. Hit that like. Hit that like button. Is the World Series happening or something? No, it's preseason. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What am I looking for here? Hope you and your family are doing well. Thank you. Jebb is TA King. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, I think that's a solid idea. At Jebb, I'm getting crazy FOMO right now, like really bad. I'm about to ape in your thoughts. Extreme emotion in cryptocurrency is a bad thing in either direction. Extremely bearish emotion, and we call that FUD, is not going to help you at all. Extremely bullish emotion is not going to help you either. But you know what will help your portfolio? Bitcoin being up above $21,000. You thought I was going into a sponsor. Not yet. Bitcoin sitting up here above $21,000. So you're probably looking at Bitcoin right now, and you're probably wondering, well, Jebb, why is Bitcoin jumping this much? Why is it bouncing around 50 or $100 every time? Well, I'll tell you why this is happening. It's because the order books have been annihilated. If you see the market moving this quickly, it's because the order books are getting absolutely shreked. And if we look at the liquidations over here, I can almost guarantee you there's a bunch of short liquidations going on the chart right now. Let's look down here on the 15-minute chart. And lo and behold, there's been $20 million in shorts in the last 15 minutes in short liquidations. And shocker, we've got 6 million of them happening on FTX. Now, it's actually more evenly distributed right now than it normally is. But you want to know why Bitcoin is rallying? It's because the shorts are getting liquidated, because everybody's been so bearish, and because the order books are thinning out. So, yeah, like I said, this is big, guys. This is really, really big. This is huge that Bitcoin is moving like this, and I'm very excited for it. I'm very, very excited to see Bitcoin moving this way, because this is something that we haven't seen a lot of recently. We've seen one other instance of Bitcoin just moving massively on like the 5-minute chart. Like, look at the 5-minute chart here. Bitcoin has been exploding ever since the stream started. So shout out to everybody who's been here since the beginning of the stream. I've been sharing some very bullish things with you over the last 20, 30 minutes. The fact is, Bitcoin's been rallying exorbitantly over just the span of an hour or two. We've seen that happen one other time relatively recently. Back on Tuesday, October the 25th, we saw Bitcoin rally 6% in 6 hours. That was a big movement. But before that, we hadn't seen another major like blast off that was sustained since this one back in earlier October, where we moved 8% in 12 hours. But that wasn't reliable. That wasn't sustained. We dropped right back down here and slumped. But right now, Bitcoin is at the moment doing something very important. And quite simply, what that very important thing is that Bitcoin is rallying very quickly, maintained where it rallied to, and now it's doing it again. So you see how that's a much different story than just Bitcoin rallying once and then having this big drop-off? Do you see how that's a completely different ballgame we're playing right now? And not the MLB kind. We're playing with Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin had this giant rally here, and then it had not really confirmed anything yet. But now Bitcoin went into a trading range right here, and then now we're going through a big breakout to the upside. That's a big story. That's a big deal. And I don't know if you saw that. I hope the stream caught that. Hopefully you saw what just happened. Bitcoin literally just jumped from $20,950 up here to $21,030. It literally just jumped up and down 1% in 1 second. And if you're wondering why that's happening, and if you're wondering why Bitcoin's trading slightly differently on different exchanges, it's because the volume on these exchanges is so high, but the order books are so thin. If you don't know what an order book is, it basically is the number of orders that are taking place and what prices they're taking place at. So if there's not a sell order for a $50 range and there's absolutely no sells, then the price jumps $50 because there's no one to buy the market when somebody else, there's no one to sell the market when somebody's buying, and the market moves in a major way. So you're seeing the order books are very thin right now because they've gotten wiped out, and there hasn't been time for people to come back in and deploy capital around the current price of Bitcoin and rebuild that market structure so the market can move exceptionally quickly. And a lot of times when those order books get thinned out, get cleared out, what you see happen is a lot of people that were in short trades, short positions, they start getting wrecked. You can see in just the last little while, for this daily candlestick, if you will, over here on CoinGlass, we have seen $133 million in short liquidations. And by the way, just to kind of vindicate what I was talking about earlier with FTX, take a look here how it's actually a lot more evenly distributed between FTX, OKX, Bybit, Binance, whereas these two major movements over here, they took place, and we saw the overwhelming majority of the shorts happen on FTX. Still very curious how that took place and whether or not that was market manipulation. Now, I don't have any information that's been shared or that I only have privately that would indicate to me that there was market manipulation, but that does look strange. I'm just going to be honest. That looks very fishy to me, that we saw at most $23 million in short liquidations on OKX and then $517 million over on FTX. And then over here at most $29 million on OKX and then $517 million on FTX. That looks extremely fishy to me. Nevertheless, the point is, to contrast that, you look at the shorts that are going on right now, and yeah, half of them are on FTX. But, well, actually, to be honest with you, 5 minutes ago, FTX was pretty much even here, but now a lot of this is taking place on FTX. So kind of the same story. It's a little bit strange to me that FTX is seeing the vast majority of the short liquidations. But nevertheless, this is glitching out on me. But nevertheless, Bitcoin is rallying, and if it can stay up here above $21,000 for the day or so, that's going to be very good. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart on Lux Algo. Because if you'll remember, LuxAlgo actually did paint a buy signal back over here on Wednesday, October 22nd. And I told you when that happened that that could be a very early warning sign, a preliminary signal, that there could be a preliminary signal that we're going to be moving to the upside in a major way. And that is very possibly starting right now. Something I want you to know about what LuxAlgo is showing is that this is the first buy signal that we've seen on Bitcoin since February. So this buy signal is not confirmed yet, and we should not trade it as if it is confirmed because it is not, but it is a very good sign that we've seen it at all. And the take profit is up here between $24,000 and $28,000. LuxAlgo gave you an early warning sign back on the 26th of October. If you were watching this channel, you would have seen it. If you had LuxAlgo, you would have seen it. You guys need to get LuxAlgo. If you don't have it, you are missing out. Full stop, period. It's a big deal. You need to get it. Links in the description box down below. It is hands down my favorite technical indicator in all of charting. And the other thing that's happened is that right now this candlestick isn't closed yet, so understand that this could change. But right now, this candlestick is green, which indicates that this buy signal just went from a regular buy signal to a strong buy signal. The way LuxAlgo works is that red is strong sell signal territory. This purple color is either regular buy or sell territory, depending on what signal flashed most recently. So this is a regular buy signal. When it turns green like this, that means that it is converted into strong buy territory. The reason that that's so significant is because if you look back on these markets, for example, right here, we had a buy signal that was immediately confirmed. Well, the market moved, but it was ranging. We kind of wanted to wait for another confirmation before it started moving to the upside. Well, it turned green, and that served as a confirmation. And when the market turned green, boom, we took off 21% in 13 days. So that was during a bear market also, but the buy signal worked very well in that respect. Same thing happened here with the sell signal. We saw the sell signal. Trend catcher turned red, but we were still just kind of trading sideways. But when we confidently turned red on the candlestick coloring, that's when we started going downhill and when that sell signal started having a lot of strength. Excuse me, that's not to say that you need to always use the candle coloring as a confirmation, but it is handy. Another thing to mention here on Bitcoin is that we did see a spinning top close on yesterday's candlestick, indicating that we did not have a lot of certainty that this downward movement that we've been in all week was going to continue, and so the market ended up reversing big time. Another thing to take a look at here on LuxAlgo, there is so much to break down on this chart right now. It's ridiculously crazy how much there is to break down. Another thing on LuxAlgo is that we broke above the EQ cloud right here, which is this central cloud, and we broke above it, which is, by the way, the first time that's happened in a long time, and then we dropped back down into it and bounced off of it as support. That's huge. That is really big, and I don't want you to miss that, because LuxAlgo, let me just go to a cleaner chart here. The way LuxAlgo works is it has these reversal zones, and this is the Neo cloud up here. I'm not going to use that too much right now, but I want to leave it there so you can see that that's a ceiling that we need to blast through, because I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But you see it's got these reversal zones right here. These reversal zones are very critical because when they get very tight and constrained, then generally speaking, you're going to see a breakout in volatility. You can see right here, they got pretty constrained with a big volatile breakout. Similar to Bollinger Bands, they're a lot more complicated than Bollinger Bands. As far as they're a lot more complex than Bollinger Bands, I think they give you more value than Bollinger Bands, but they act in a similar way in that whenever they start constricting majorly, as you can see right here, that's normally when the market blasts off. You see this cyclical movement between high volatility to low volatility. We've been in a period of low volatility bringing the bands in, and that indicates to us that we should be seeing higher volatility. Well, which direction is the volatility going to go? Well, right now, the bulls have the baton. They're not extremely strong right now. It's like if you're playing a game of tug of war, the bulls have a little bit of ground, but they're not just completely pulling the bears over yet, but they are starting to edge in that direction because we have that buy signal. We bounced off the EQ cloud. We've got green. We're about to blast through, hopefully, through this trend catcher. And if we're able to get through the trend catcher, and here's kind of the setup that I want to show you. If we're able to get through the trend catcher, break up here into the reversal zone, well, just know that'll be the first time that Bitcoin has been trading in the reversal zone, on the top reversal zone of Bitcoin, since here a year ago. Like, we've gotten close to it and we rejected from it. You see, we didn't even actually touch it right here. Let me just go in here and manipulate LuxAlgo a little bit so you see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me turn all this stuff off except the trend catcher and the reversal zones so you can see this a little closer. You see, we have not managed to get even get into the reversal zone for quite some time. When you're in a bull market, well, you typically don't even get into the bearish reversal zone. You can see we dipped into it right over here, but then we never actually got into it until we touched it right here, and then boom, early warning sign that we were going to drop, right? We touched it right here and then drop, massive drop. Well, over here, we saw a similar thing happen. We were in the reversal zone, but one of the things that happens is you push into the reversal zone, then you fall out of it, and then that can oftentimes be an early warning sign of a reversal. But over here, when we finally touched this, that was a lot of confirmation and signal strength that we were going to have a big drop. So all of that on the flip side, on the bullish side, is that when we touch this reversal zone, based on the historicity of the data and looking at the historical context, Bitcoin is likely to do one of two things, but they're both big. It's likely to either be the first sign that we're going to have a big drop because it's going to reject from it like we saw over here. We saw that, and then we dropped in a big way. Or it will be a sign that we're going to push into it, as we saw here, and as we saw here, and as we saw here, and as we saw here. And that actually indicated that there was a lot of strength. Pushing deep into the reversal zone is almost like getting up to 70, 80, or 90 on the RSI. It just indicates that there's a ton of strength behind the bulls. And so that's what we're looking at right now, is that if the market is able to push up here into the reversal zone, then it's going to indicate that we have a lot of strength that is untapped. And that strength could be unlocked through anything like an 8% or lower CPI report on the 10th, which is only 6 days away. That's, what is that, next Thursday? Yeah, next Thursday. We'll actually be live that day. The next day we'll be off because Veterans Day, and that's when the Kevin O'Leary interview comes up. But that CPI data will drop before the Veterans Day weekend. And if we do push into that reversal zone, it's off to the races, guys. You need to get Lux Algo. I think you're seeing why there's so much value in it, and I'm such a fan of it. Let me just show you also Lux Oscillator. I haven't even shown you Lux Oscillator or some of their other free tools. Lux Algo has some free tools, by the way, and one of them is really cool. I'll show you that too. But you can see the oscillator down here turned green when the buy signal did. The way I used to use Lux Algo, I actually would have called this a confirmed buy signal already, because what I would do is I would look for two of these signals: buy signal, trend catcher, and Lux Oscillator turning in the same color, same direction. And if two of those happened, I called it a confirmation. If three of them happened, I called it like a super confirmation. So to be honest, based on the way I used to use this strategy, which is a very valid way of using it, you could consider this confirmed already, even though the trend catcher isn't green. And if we do turn that trend catcher green, man, it's going to be off to the races. It's going to be really great. It's going to be really, really great, because that's what we saw happen over here, guys. Even on all these buy signals, green trend catcher a lot of times preceded the buy signal, and then the market took off in a big way. And by the way, I just want to show you something else that Lux Algo has that's actually free, because Lux Algo is a paid indicator. It's worth every penny, and you need to go get it. But if you don't have the ability to do that right now, or you just want to try it out, I want you to do something for me. Just come over here into your trading view. I'm just going to show you how popular and how useful Lux Algo is. Go to indicators, go over here to community scripts, go to trending. This is the most popular recently published scripts on all of TradingView. So this is all of TradingView. Most popular by likes. What's number one? Lux Algo has 5,500 likes over here for this thing. It's called Smart Money Concepts. It's got 5 times the number of likes of anything else on this list. Blown everything completely out of the water. And they've got a couple of other ones here in the top 15. You got a whole butterfly oscillator down here coming in second, above itself, right behind itself. So this is 5,500 likes. This is 1,600. This is the way that you rate these things over on TradingView. Lux Algo's got everybody beat. But this Smart Money Concepts is really cool. I don't have a lot of time to go into it today, but I will be going into it more. Essentially what it does is it gives you a lot of just raw price action data that prints on the chart, and uses different price action to give you major zones of support and major zones of resistance, as you can see here. And then it's also got these really cool things right here that show you something called this is a change of character. CHOCH is change of character. So the market was setting higher highs, and then it broke it, and then boom, look, right, as soon as it broke through that change of character, that this free indicator, this is free on TradingView, this is free. All the other stuff I was showing you is paid. This is free. When it broke through this, blasted off. Right over here, this is called a BOS. This is called a break of structure. We had a double top that was forming right here, and the market just blasted through it. And that's a break of structure, because instead of setting the double bottom here, the double top here, it broke through the double top, breaking the structure, which is a bullish thing. So a change of character oftentimes means a reversal like a bottom or a top, but a break of structure often means that the trend is continuing in the direction it was already going. So based on this free indicator, you can see the change of character right here has indicated that, okay, we reversed from going down to going up, which which is, one of the big things that we're looking at here. It's funny. Google just thought I was talking to it. I'm not talking to you, Google. Come on. It said, how can I help you? But then we also got the break of structure over here, which indicates that not only did we see a reversal, but that we saw a continuation. Is that not what I was just talking about? Like, didn't I just say that? It's so cool how the technical indicators and the analysis lines up, because, by the way, I did not pre-analyze this. I just pulled this up on a whim because I forgot I wanted to show it to you. I did not look at this before this stream. I did not realize it was saying that. But didn't I say, like 20 minutes ago, before I looked at this indicator, that Bitcoin basically started, it had the potential of a major movement to the upside when it broke $1,200 in 12 hours on the 25th, and then it confirmed that uptrend that it had already started. It gave another confirmation of that uptrending action when we broke above the local high that we just set, because we're doing it a second time. That's what I said. I said something to that effect 20 minutes ago. Go back in the stream. LuxAlgo's free indicator is showing that. So if that's what they're giving you for free, just imagine all of the things that you're getting for the paid membership. You can find a link for LuxAlgo down below. If you don't have it, I don't know why. Like, it's just hands down the best technical indicator in the industry. It really is. And that, by the way, it's not just used in crypto. It's also used in stocks, commodities, precious metals. You can use it on anything. You can go chart it on the Dixie if you want. So yeah, as far as the question, why is the Dixie dumping so much? That would be a good question. I don't have an answer for you. To be honest, I think it might have to do with some of the other banks around the world, some of the other central banks, and you can even see it right here. LuxAlgo actually, funnily enough, does work on Dixie. Not on Dixie, excuse me. Well, yes, on Dixie, and it actually does a pretty dang good job. Like, this is hilarious. It does a very good job. This sell signal came in a little bit late, but you could have called that we were dropping from a multiplicity of other factors, such as the free indicator here doing the change of character right there. Boom, look at this. The free indicator on Dixie called this. Look at this, the change of character right here. As soon as we drop beneath it, the market dumped big time. Look at where it's sitting. It's sitting in the take profit on the Dixie. This is hilarious. LuxAlgo works amazingly on the Dixie. Anyway, beside the point is you guys need to get this smart money concepts LuxAlgo indicator. It's up here. Go to indicators, trending, and go ahead and drop a like on it. This indicator is just, it's just incredible, and it's free too. Like, why wouldn't you use it and get an idea for how it works? I'm very blown away by it. All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and read some chat here, and then we got some news to talk about a little bit later, having to do with none other than Coinbase. But before we do, this is Coffee and Crypto. I am Crypto Jebb, and since we are having our coffee and our crypto and our community time all at the same time, we got to have some coffee. So, as always, drinking out of my lovely husband mug that my wife got me. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. You can see right there, it says husband. Very appreciative of the gift. My wife got me this. And so, on three. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Love it. Love it. Let me tell you a story. I was at the North American Bitcoin Conference, and this guy walks up to me in army fatigues. And he walks up to, Sarah knows this story because I told her. He walks up to me in army fatigues, and he's got this like thick Jamaican accent. He's like, "Hey, man, are you crypto?" I'm sorry, I'm just going to offend the entire Caribbean. He walks up to me, and he's like, "Are you Crypto Jebb?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he's got this the reason I mention the accent will become apparent in a second. And he's like, "Jebb, are you on cocaine?" And I'm like, "What?" No, I did not hear him right. So I asked him, "What?" I ended up having to ask this guy 10 times. I'm not kidding. After about the 4th time, I started counting. How many times? He might be watching. He's a fan of the channel. He walked up to me. He recognized me from the channel. I forgot his name. But he walks up to me and he goes, "Are you on cocaine?" And I could not understand him because of his thick accent. And so after a while, I thought, I was like, okay, yeah, that's what he's saying. But I'm like, you didn't just ask me that, did you? So I kept asking him, "What did you say?" So after I think I literally got to somewhere between 8 and 10 times where I asked him what he was saying. And finally I'm just like, "Am I on cocaine?" No, golly, no, I don't want anything to do with any of that. I drink coffee. Well, I have a lot of energy anyway without coffee, but I like coffee. So, funny story. Definitely not true, by the way. I don't want to start any rumors. I just thought that was a funny story to share with you guys. All right, looks like Bitcoin is doing very well for itself. It is currently sitting at $21,250. We will look at that here a little bit more in a second. But before we do, I want to tell you guys about a very, very important place that you should go to secure your financial future and your financial sovereignty in cryptocurrency, and that would be none other than iTrust Capital. If you guys are not familiar with iTrust Capital, you need to be, because they are going to allow you to open an IRA in cryptocurrency. Why is that so important? Well, an individual retirement account like an IRA is a tax shelter. It basically allows you to defer your taxes on things that you are basically allowed to invest with pre-tax money in this investment vehicle and then pay the taxes on it much later so that you can use more capital to compound it. So for example, if you were to invest $100,000 versus investing $80,000 and you let it compound for 30 years, then the difference of that 20%, which would normally have gone to taxes at the start, instead will stay in your IRA and be allowed to compound. And then when you withdraw from it after you get old enough and after you're allowed by law to withdraw that without penalties, which is into your 60s, then you pay the taxes at that point after the money has already done the work. So yes, you still have to pay the taxes, but when you're retired and you're in a much lower tax bracket because you're probably making less money, but you already have so much money in savings and in other investments that's already post-tax, when you start withdrawing this and your income is actually very low and you're making very little money every year because you're going through the traditional retirement idea and you're withdrawing this, you'll end up paying way less money in taxes, and you had more money to compound because the principal in compounding interest is so very important. How much principal you have dictates all of that. Is one of the biggest contributing factors to how much you're going to compound. iTrust Capital is the leader in the industry for allowing you to invest in cryptocurrencies with an IRA. You can either roll over an IRA into iTrust Capital and invest with it through iTrust Capital in a basket of different cryptocurrencies. Staking is now live, by the way. That's a cool announcement that they have right down here. And you can actually set up your own IRA in cryptocurrency right now so that you can start taking advantage of those different features. And by the way, it looks like they have, obviously, they've made it public here. They have started taking 401ks, TSPs, 403bs, 457s, and more because they are continuing to advance with that regulation. Definitely a leader in the industry, and we are very thankful for iTrust Capital. Get a $100 funding reward when you sign up with the link in the description box down below. Boom. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Thank you very much for iTrust Capital. I need to buy Lux Algo for my eldest grandchildren at Xmas, and they can teach me. Ha ha ha. Yeah, there you go, man. Let's see. when asked if you're on, lift your foot up and look down and say, I don't think so. That is a dad joke right there. I like it. I always love dad jokes. Azure Blue said 59. Yeah, it's 59.5 is when you're able to withdraw with no penalty. Jebb starting rumors about himself. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I want absolutely nothing to do with that. There was some of that stuff around me when I was a kid, and I want zil. I want absolutely nothing to do with it. I hate it. I hate what drugs do to people's bodies and what they do to their minds, and I despise it. Let's see. Hey, Jebb, what do you think about the potential of Ethereum compared to Bitcoin in the next bull run? I think that they're both going to do very well. I think you're going to see both of them go back to all-time high and beyond. I would not be surprised at all if you see Bitcoin rallying well over $100,000, especially with some of this regulatory clarity coming out, and seeing Ethereum rally well over $10,000. By the way, guys, make sure that you smash that like button if you haven't already. If you have not hit that like button, you need to. Well, you don't need to, I guess. You need to get Lux Algo. Like, you're missing out. But as far as the like button, it helps me. So you don't need to hit the like button, but I appreciate when you do. It's very helpful. Seabert Visuals said it well. Punch those likes, guys. ETH is going to blow everything away, Freedom Advocate said. Yeah, it's gonna do well. That's going to do well. Let's see here. Already read that one. Is Jebb back for good? I am back for good. Love being here. What's that indicator called again? It's called Lux Algo. After purchasing Lux Algo, you are still required to purchase indicators? No, Lux Algo buys you all of the indicators, unless something's changed in the last 2 days. But I don't think it has. And by the way, guys, if you guys have any questions about Lux Algo that you would like for me to get an answer to, you like the more nuanced stuff that you can't find on the website or anything, I'm actually having a call with the CEO here at 2 today. So if you have any questions, just let me know and I will relay those to you. That's the cool thing about how large, but also how small our industry is. Our industry is large enough that you can have massive companies like Coinbase, but it's also small enough where if you're working in the industry, you can get to know a lot of the big guys and they'll actually talk to you. And that's something I really admire, is that I'm just a little fish, but a lot of the big guys will actually take the time of day to talk to me, and that allows me to share that with you guys. And so I get to be this really, I get to be in this really cool position where I get to talk to, like, you know, billionaires, but I also get to talk to all the people in crypto, and I get to kind of play in the middle and get past questions from the people and then pass down information from the big guys, and just it's just really cool. I really love my job. I really love my job. Let's see. By the way, for someone who asked about CBBI, let's go ahead and pull that up for just a second, and then we're going to read some articles here. We got one, really, that I want to show you. Let's go ahead and look at CBBI. This is going to be very quick, though. CBBI is currently sitting at 9. We can see that it's sitting well down in oversold territory. If you guys don't know what CBBI is, it was basically calculated to set 100 as the all-time high, between 2 and 3 as the absolute bottom for a bull market. It was made right around here, and it was back. It was back tested to fit all of this, and then when the market rallied up to about 84, it did a pretty good job of saying, hey, we're close to the top. Down here is around 5. Pretty good job of saying we're very close to the bottom. So pretty solid indicator. It's actually an indexed indicator using 9 different indicators. You can see it's the Colin Talks Crypto Bitcoin Bull Run Index, CBBI. The I is standing for index. So check it out. It's at 9 right now, indicating we could be starting to move back to the upside. Pretty cool indicator. Shout out to Colin Talks Crypto also, because he's the one that created it. He's got 36K over on YouTube. I haven't watched any of his content, but he made a great indicator, so I assume he makes great content too. Cool beans. You can see that CBBI has been trained off the blow-off tops of 2013 and 17 as such as purposes identifying characteristics of a blow-off top specifically. So boom, there you go. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some news. But before we do, I also want to give you another shout out to another thing I want to share with you, and that would be none other than Uphold. If you guys are not familiar with Uphold, a good reason to be is because Uphold is going to give you the ability to invest in cryptocurrencies, but they're also going to give you the ability to invest in equities right alongside them and precious metals. So you can get into all 3 of these different industries, crypto, equities, and metals, all at the same time in one place on Uphold. And you can also do staking on here. So you have the ability to bring all of those different functionalities from many different markets and entirely different industries into one place and trade them and interact with them in one centralized, and not the bad kind of centralized, but one central location where you can actually do all of these things. So make sure you go to uphold.com. You can find the link in the description box down below to help out the channel, and you can find all of these different things over here, such as your environmental assets. You can come over here and do your staking. So you've got all of the staking down here. So this is a great place to do one-stop shop staking. You've got ADA over here. You got Graph, Algorand, Tron, ETH. Just all the different power players, Kava, Kusama, Polkadot. You can do your staking over here, and you'll earn quite a bit. And Uphold is definitely the place to go if you were trying to get invested in crypto, but also trying to get invested in equities or metals, and maybe go buy Tesla or something like that and see how Tesla is saying. And even if you don't end up using Uphold as a platform, they've got some really solid information over here to just kind of break down a bunch of different assets like Cardano and like gold, and give you different perspectives on what the bulls and the bears are saying. Definitely some solid information. So definitely go check it out, uphold.com. You can find the link down below. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and talk about an article over here that I think is very important, but I also think has been misrepresented. But before we do, I actually want to make sure that we've read some super chats, because we had some super chats come in, and I don't want to miss them. And I think I did. Golly, I got to do better about that. Oh, nope, found them. Jeremiah 0007, not 007, 0007. It says, do you use Binance Chain? If so, have you gotten the chance to play Crypto Jackpot yet? No, I don't really use the Binance Chain that much. I have some concerns about the way Binance is run as far as their branding. And also, having 2 million Binance token minted out of thin air a couple weeks ago, yeah, it's not... Binance is a great exchange. Don't get me wrong. It's number 1 for a reason. Number 1, number 2, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't think so. So thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you for the super chat. We also got Crypto Alchemist said, do you have any information about the $1 billion hack on Gala? Should there be concern there? Wait a minute. Did I miss something? The first thing that I found says that crypto loves drama. Gala $1 billion hack turns out to be FUD. I will look into this. The first thing that came up was that the first thing that came up over here when I looked this up was that it's FUD. I didn't see this. It seems that P Network found a faulty configuration to the P Gala Gateway Bridge, P Gala Bridge, not affiliated with Gala developers, which resulted in minting almost $1 billion of Gala at once and had to drain the pool on PancakeSwap in order to redeploy P Gala after. Huobi Exchange, which supports P Gala, saw a large number of tokens exchanges calling Gala on Ethereum, and the underlying bridge were not affected. Apparently, P Network is behind the $1 billion worth of P Gala being drained. Explained in a Twitter thread what happened. A misconfiguration of the P Network bridge necessitated the redeployment of P Gala. We're working directly with the Gala team and with exchanges to provide the necessary P Gala balances to restore functionality of P Gala deposits and withdrawals. As of now, the trading of P Gala is not advised. The BSC P Gala bridge to Ethereum is closed, and some exchanges have halted operations for P Gala. Okay, well, just from this preliminary, and you guys can see the article I'm looking at right here. So thank you for pointing that out to me, Crypto Alchemist. I'll look into this more. This is over on MSN of all places. Yeah, it looks like it was actually the bridge rather than the crypto itself. So I'll look into that more. It seems like it may have been the bridge's fault rather than the cryptocurrency's fault, and that actually happens quite a bit. So I will look into that more, and if there's something really big to talk about, we'll talk about that on Monday. Chrismo said, much appreciation for all you do, and same to your wife for her support and patience. You have changed and continue to change people's lives for the better. Cheers and happy Friday. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. The Classic IT guy said a liquidity pool move. Yep. We'll be standing on the shoulders of titans. Gala handled the exploit well. Only S-Gala had the issue. All Gala on ETH is fine. That's what it sounds like to me, yeah. It was on a side chain. ETH Gala is safe. Gotcha. Thanks for answering. Absolutely. Uphold is where I buy my XRP. Yep, that is. Yep, you can do that there. A lot of people use Uphold because that's where you can get XRP. Elaine Loftus said, I own Lux Algo indicators, but am overwhelmed by all the amazing info it provides. Is there a beginner's page or video I can study from on the website? Yeah, Lux Algo actually does have a lot of resources on their website. So I'll show you briefly. I don't want to just keep on about Lux Algo, but if you go over to resources, you go over to guides on luxalgo.com, you've got all of this. Like, this FAQ is huge. There's so many videos over here, and a lot of these videos are made by my friend Sean Mack. He's the CEO. You can see right here, for example, Sean's right here. He's going to teach you about different things on autopilot. There's a bunch of different content that Sean, like I said, he's a friend of mine. He's the CEO of Lux Algo, made over here. And just gives you a ton of different information, even on just basic technical analysis concepts. So check it out. He will, over there, he will help you to understand Lux Algo. You can see somebody just bought Lux Algo 3 minutes ago. Boom. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump on. We're going to go a few minutes over today just because there was so much going on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's calmed down a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and look at CoinDesk here. We're going to try and make this quick because I want to be respectful of your time, but you can see over here CoinDesk posted about Coinbase going into a deal with Google. Let's get that right. Coinbase deal shows Google is committed to crypto. How much depends on whom you ask. A tie-up between the crypto and tech giants have been lauded as affirmation for blockchain. In reality, Google is looking for new customers. This is a good point. I was thinking about this the other day. Google already has so many customers that... When was the last time you saw Google advertise a search engine? Like, they do it, but it's very rare because everybody's already using it. And everybody that's using it has no reason to go anywhere because who's going to use Yahoo? Who's going to use, as far as the search... As far as the browser is concerned, who's going to go use Microsoft Microsoft whatever? What they changed the name of it to Edge, Internet Edge, Internet Explorer, whatever. Nobody uses it. Everybody uses Google, so they're looking for new ways to get customers and grow revenue because that's what companies do. So the point is, a lot of people are assuming that Google is trying to get into crypto big time. What this article basically outlines is that what Google's actually doing is getting. They're dipping their toe into crypto, and they're using Coinbase's brand affinity to say, hey, look, well, we're trying to compete with Amazon Web Services, and we have a crypto company called, Coinbase, one of the biggest in the industry. We serve them, so everybody else who buys web services from Google's web services division, which is big enough to be like a Fortune 500 company on its own, everyone who buys from them, hey, look, we also service Coinbase. So they get to say, yeah, I know AWS services all these other companies, but we service Coinbase. So for any of you who want to go into the future of cryptocurrency, then you ought to use us because we already work with cryptocurrency. We, in fact, work with the biggest name in crypto. And that's kind of what it seems that Google is doing with this. This is where this article talks about seismic shift, ? Maybe. It is a big deal that Google is partnering with Coinbase. I don't want to underplay that, but I think if you really read into it, the real reason why Coinbase is that Coinbase and Google are partnering is more so because Google wants to be able to say, hey, we have early mover advantage in crypto, and therefore you should go do business with our web services division, because we want, that being Google speaking, we want to make sure that you don't go and work with AWS. So that'd be my opinion on that. I think it's very important for any of you who didn't know that there is currently a deal being worked out between Coinbase and Google. It's a huge deal. I mean, the article down here says, given that Alphabet already has around 186,000 employees, though, aggressiveness in crypto is all relative. So when they're making a partnership like this, it's huge for crypto. It's not that big of a deal for Google. So just keep that in mind. It's not like who is the CEO of Google right now? The Sundar Pichai, I think that's his name. Yeah, Sundar Pichai. It's not like he himself is like, hey, we're going to go and we're going to build our search engine on Web3. That'd be different. This is a big deal, but it's not as big as people are making it out to be. Don't want to be a bear either. Don't want to be spreading FUD. It's big, but nevertheless. Anyway, guys, one final thing I want to tell you guys about today would be none other than MEXC. If you guys are not familiar with MEXC, you should definitely check them out. And one of the big reasons is because they have all kinds of functionalities over here in cryptocurrency. You can buy cryptocurrency over here on a debit or credit card. You can do it with a bank transfer. You can even do peer-to-peer trading over here. This is one of the features that is really awesome, is that you can actually trade with your peers, which makes it a lot easier to get involved in cryptocurrency. Also, check this out. You can go and trade on spot. You can also trade on margin. So this is another margin trading site. If that's your cup of tea, then you've got your futures over here. You've got your USDTM futures, your CoinM futures. You've got your futures overview. You can check this out right over here and get a pretty solid understanding of what's going on in the market broadly. But then you can also come over here to copy trade, and you can actually copy trade different investors in this market, and you can follow them along and make money right alongside them. You can see that there are a lot of different people that are copy trading right over here. So make sure you check out MEXC Global. The link is in the description box down below. Thank you very much to MEXC. All right, guys, we're going to read chat here, and then we're going to wrap it out. Let's see. Hexy person said, good morning. Have you heard about Poor Pleb yet? Free claims for plebs. Whales get nothing. I am the founder. I have not heard about it. But that $5 worth of advertising is going to go a long way for you, buddy. Let's see. Thanks, mate. Only been in crypto 14 months. Shout out to you, my friend. All right, we're going to read a little bit more chat. Not financial advisor here, for entertainment purposes only. Let's see. Okay. Steak pool. I could go for some steak right now. DuckDuckGo is safer for searching the internet, in my honest opinion. DuckDuckGo is pretty solid. Hey, Jebb, I know you were a big Cardano fan, so I wanted to find out if you have a Cardano stake pool. I don't yet, but I actually want to get that moved over and do that, because I think it's actually accruing anyway. I just need to go claim it. But yeah, I've reallocated a lot of my money in crypto, a lot of our money in crypto, back into Bitcoin and ETH, and I'm going to start redeploying it here relatively soon, I believe. We are pioneers in a brand new asset class. Absolutely we are. Absolutely we are. Hi, Jebb. Hi, Eric. Gotta bounce. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks, Jebb. Thank you, Matt C. God bless you, man. Well, guys, we're going to have to go ahead and go here. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching as much as you do. You guys are what makes this channel work. You guys are what makes this channel have purpose. And so thank you very much for... Thank you guys very much for just all the support. And make sure to check out Lux Algo and our other sponsors with the link in the description. It helps to support the channel, and we're just very thankful for you guys. Have a blessed weekend. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.